Hello everyone, I am the Young Millennial Budget. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. If you enjoyed the video today, please don't forget to like, comment below, and subscribe because it really does help out my channel and I love interacting with you guys down in the comments. Today, you'll be seeing me finally close out the month of April and fully budget, quote unquote, 1 month ahead, which will be May 2021. Technically speaking, I know we're already in the month of May, but all of the money that I'm using to fund this month, I had already saved for myself in that month of April. So the very first step I'm going to do according to this 6-step checklist, I'm going to start on step 4 because I did steps 1 through 3 in my previous video. And that step is to move money as needed or desired. So I'm going to fast forward through this section a little bit and you guys will just see me closing out all of these categories. So they're either completely cleared or they're at a nice even number. And I personally just like doing that because I like to know exactly how much money it would cost me to be 1 month ahead, as opposed to having the money roll over and reduce what my monthly goals would be. Okay, so I have now officially closed out all of my categories here in April. So I'm going to flip into May. And before I take out that money I have in my 1 month ahead category to fully fund all of those categories below, I'm going to adjust my goals so they're reflective of what things will be moving forward. So obviously I've already spent some money in May because it is May 5th at this time. But some of these goals are no longer accurate. So one thing going forward is I know that my rent has been reduced. My friend and I were discussing this the other day and it appears her escrow has gone down or they overestimated. So going forward, I'll be paying her less rent. So I'll now be paying $638.51. I flipped into June because I already paid her for the month of May and she said that she was going to refund me, but I was like, it's a negligible amount of money. Let's just apply that towards something else I may owe you in the future. So I still needed $665 this month, but I won't going forward. And let me flip back into May. I also want to reduce my dining out and take $10 from here and put it towards fast food. I don't always spend a lot of money in dining out, or at least I don't consistently. Like 1 month I may spend $100 and another month I may only spend $40. So I feel like I can afford to reduce this to $90 and just be a little bit more conscious of it. But I almost consistently spend about $60 on fast food each month. I'd like to reduce it, but it's better for me to just be realistic. Transportation, I am going to reduce Uber by $5 at this time, just because I am trying to reduce my monthly contributions. I'll talk about that later in the video, but I'm going to a new job that is a 34% pay cut, and it's going to be a big lifestyle adjustment for me. So I just want to make it where I'm starting to gradually reduce my lifestyle over the next couple of weeks so that it's not a big shock to me when I start my job in July. So I took $5 from Uber and Metro. And then I actually am going to change my renter's insurance. I'm going to change this to 1010 as a monthly savings builder, because one thing I have noticed is that it doesn't always fund this goal when I have $10 inside, and I have yet to get myself a new renter's insurance since I moved to my friend's house, which is a big no-no, but I'm working on it slowly. So yeah, I changed that goal. What else do I need to change? With my car expenses, I'm also going to make that one a monthly savings builder as opposed to a needed for spending, because it doesn't always fund it. It doesn't always fund it when I already have money sitting inside. And I am trying to gradually build this account up because though I do have that new vehicle sinking fund up here, that's for the ticket price of the car, so I can get it off the lot or buy it off of someone secondhand. but this is more for the car maintenance, the registration, gas. And I know $70 isn't nearly enough right now, but I'm slowly building up this account, so it's not as much of a shock to me when I first buy that car. So yes, I think that's better as a monthly savings goal. And then personal care and health. Though one of my financial goals this year was to consistently fund and use this category, which I do feel like I've been pretty successful in taking care of myself more this year and learning how to spend my money on myself, I do think I will likely stop funding this after I get to a certain amount. Maybe when I see $200 sitting in clothing, then I'll just fund my hair, skin, and nails until that's about $200 and just always try to keep it to that balance. So I think that's a little bit closer to that needed for spending goal as opposed to a monthly savings builder. But I haven't quite gotten to that point yet, and I'll figure it out when that happens. So that'll be a couple months from now. But for now, I'm not going to change these three, but I will change this fitness goal. So as of right now, I got myself a new gym membership to Planet Fitness, and me and my friend are splitting it. She already paid me for the month, and that gym membership is $22.99. It's kind of cut off there. So I need to be contributing $11.50 each month myself. And I also need to put an additional $10 into the account so I can cover the annual fee, which me and her are also splitting. So I'm going to change this to $11.50. But I will later add another $10 into fitness. So hopefully I don't forget. And then just for fun, I'm also going to reduce this by $5 at this time. Just, gradual decreases until I get to a sustainable budget. And then for giving, I think that's fine. Subscriptions, that is fine. Yeah. So let me flip back into April, and then I'm going to put this money in my to be budgeted. I'm going to put it into my buffer as a temporary holder. And then I'm going to take this 1 month ahead category and add that to my to be budgeted. And now when I select all of my categories and deselect my 2021 goals, it says that I need $1,552 to fully fund all of my quote unquote necessities. So I'm just going to click under funded. And then I'm going to double check that all of the categories are funded appropriately. Okay, everything appears to be funded appropriately. So now what I'm going to do is, with this extra $110 sitting in my to be budgeted, I'm going to put extra money into the categories that I feel need additional funding, which may be categories that don't have any goals. So I'm going to put $40 into this home improvement and moving costs. This is kind of my furniture category or home decor. So I just like to have a little money in there just in case I see something that I need or want. And then I'm going to go into my transportation section. I told myself that I wanted to start putting half of whatever remains in Uber and Metro and put that into my car expenses so I can kind of just build this a little bit faster than $20 a month. So right now I'm going to put, last month I had $40 plus $20 because I didn't spend anything there. So I'm going to add an additional $30 into my car expenses. And then lastly, for my professional fees, I do want to put an additional $25 in here just because I foresee with my new job coming up that there'll be a couple more certifications I may need to get. And that leaves me with $15.32 extra. So let me actually leave that there for one moment and fully release my buffer into my to be budgeted. And with this $257, I'm going to fully fund my emergency fund for this month. And I'm also going to fully fund my vacation fund because I have the means to do so. And this remaining $33.67 can just go back into my buffer until I find a use for it. I'm going to move on to the next step, which is to set goals for the new month. I've technically already adjusted my May goals, but now I'm going to discuss some of my highs and lows of the month of April that have led to me setting new goals for May. Here are my 3 highs of April. 1, I opened a new card. That was my Chase Freedom Unlimited and was able to receive their $200 bonus. I currently haven't cashed that out. I guess I'm just waiting for a time in which I truly need the money, and then I will allocate that into my budget. But I'm excited that I received it. My second high of April was that I went on an international vacation. I had such a wonderful time and didn't go too over budget. So I'm really happy that planning had allowed me to spend within my means while truly enjoying myself. And my third high was that I remained 1 month ahead despite this being a high spending month for me, and I managed to increase my net worth, which is something I was afraid would not happen. So I'm excited that I was able to achieve all 3 of those. 3 of my budget lows of this month was that I underestimated the cost of COVID-19 travel. Essentially, I talked about that in my previous video, and I spent over $600 just on COVID tests and protocol, and that was way more than I anticipated. Another low was that I wasted money on paint supplies for my room. I also talked about that in my last video, which I'll have linked above, and that was about a waste of $63, and hopefully sometime this week I can go there and see how much I can return, but I doubt they'll take back a can of mixed paint, so that's just a loss for me. And my final low of April was that I went over budget in my fast food category. This technically happens every single month. I'm not that disappointed in it, but it's frustrating to know that for the last 4 months, I really told myself I was going to try and remain in budget for my fast food category and couldn't manage to discipline myself enough to be within that $50 budget. But now I've increased it to $60 because that's just way more realistic and closer to the average in which I spend on fast food each month. And my 3 goals for May is to reduce my monthly goals from $3,300 to less than $2,900, and I'm gonna flip into YNAB and show you guys what I mean. If you look here in total monthly goals, you can see that according to YNAB, it takes $3,254 for me to fully fund the month of May. So I'm trying to reduce this amount down to less than $2,900 for the month of June. So right now, just for demonstration's sake, let's say I fully fund May. So I'm going to just take my 2020 hashtag goals section, click underfunded, and that fully funds my month, which you can tell here because it now says I am not underfunded at all. When I flip into June, it says that it requires $3,284. So I need to fully fund some of my goals in order to reduce this total monthly goals. And I anticipate I'll be able to do that by strategically allocating money into my 2020 hashtag goals section throughout the month with my paychecks and other sources of income. Less than $2,900 is my goal because I believe with my new W-2 job, that will be my monthly take-home pay. My second goal is to develop a comprehensive investment strategy for my Roth IRA. Right now, I feel like it's very random and haphazard which stocks and ETFs I choose to put money in each week. And I just want to have more of a strategy that helps me stratify my investment accordingly, because originally I planned on having my money in different things such as real estate, the international market, the US market, bonds, and my percentages are completely out of whack because I didn't quite develop a strategy to do that. So that's what I plan on doing this month. My final goal is to create a wish farm and a wish list. I'm doing this now because I'm starting to realize I have an issue buying material things that I need, though I have no issues at all spending money on like fast food and experiences. I find it hard to spend money on something like a shoe rack. I find it hard to spend money on a pair of eyeglasses. And I just feel like if I put these items into my wish farm or wish list and I budget for them over some time, it'll be easier for me to justify in my mind that I'm spending money on something. And my final step in my 6-step process is to discuss my strategy. For my reducing my monthly goals from $3,300 down to less than $2,900, I plan on doing this by completely funding my new vehicle and vacation fund so that I no longer have to fund those categories in the upcoming months. And I believe that plus some other reductions in my budget will help me get down to that $2,900 or less. I plan on developing that comprehensive investment strategy by looking at some other YouTubers and reading some literature and picking the stocks that I want to embody that US stock market and that real estate and assigning percentages to them so that I know when I'm doing my bi-weekly transfers of $100 or $125 that I can just take the percentage of how much should be going towards my real estate section and put that in there and not think about it. And for my wish farm and wish list, I plan on putting about 3 or 4 items of things I plan on purchasing in the future, things that I may need and some things that I may just desire, and just putting any rollover money I have at the end of the month into those goals. I'm really excited to see how my budget will look in the month of June after I've completed these goals. And thank you guys so much for watching me. If you enjoyed the video today, please don't forget to like, comment below, and subscribe because it really does help out my channel. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.